Q2C VR Gamer. My name is Eric, and today we have a cool little interview with Ciwiel from Demeo. Ciwiel is the community manager for Demeo for Resolution Games, and myself and Todd had a great chance to sit down with her and speak to her about Demeo, what is going on currently right now, what is to come, and how is it for her being the community manager for an amazing game like Demeo. It was a very interesting interview. We took some parts of it, we cut it down a little bit, and we made it nice and sweet for you guys to jump in and take a look at it, and I hope you enjoy it. Let's go to the video. Okay, thank you, Eric and Todd. We appreciate you passing it over to us, and we are here with Ciwiel. She is the community manager for Demeo at Resolution Games. How are you doing today? Thank you for being here. We really appreciate it.
I'm good. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited. I've been following your work.
Yeah, thank you. We were just talking a few minutes ago. This is the first time we've actually met. We've actually probably interacted quite a few times, over the course of Demeo's life. But yeah, this is the first time that we've actually gotten together, and so this is really interesting and neat. I'm really glad you're here, and this is something me and Todd have been excited about for a few weeks now.
Yeah, me too.
Super exciting. I'm a big Demeo fan. Come on.
I know you got the Demeo. I was gonna wear my Demeo shirt because I did. As soon as the store opened for Demeo, we both were like, we got to go get Demeo shirts, and I could not find my Demeo shirt this morning. Of course,
oh, no.
So that's the way these things work.
I wish I were wearing mine too right now.
But you know what I do have? I know, right? But you know what I do have, which was sent to me by Resolution, which I absolutely love, and Todd just hasn't gotten his yet. Is this right here, and that's what we're going to be talking about today, guys. This right here is pretty darn amazing. This is the new chapter or the new adventure for Demeo, Curse of the Serpent Lord, and that's what we're here to talk about today. But before we do that, let's get to know you a little bit, Ciwiel. Tell us a little bit about your job with Resolution and what you do for Demeo.
Yeah, so I've been at Resolution Games for a bit over 3 years now. And as a community manager, I kind of see myself as like the bridge between the players and the company or the developers. So making sure that, the players' voices are heard to the company or the developers and vice versa, basically. And I don't know if this is appropriate to say, but I see all of the communities as my little babies. Just want to take care of everyone, make sure everyone's having a good time.
Well, I mean, it's an important job too, right? I mean, community management is seriously important because you're right. It is like cultivating like a little family, right? There's a lot of people that really like the game or really have things that they want to say about the game, and it's kind of your job to go out there and field all these things, whether they could be good or bad, and then try and handle them, as they come. So yeah, I can see why you kind of feel like, protective over the whole Demeo thing, right?
Yeah, absolutely. If there are suggestions coming up or, something people are unhappy with, personally is maybe not the right word, but you do sometimes. You take things personally because you want to really make things good. And that comes with both good and bad, of course, but mostly good. But
yeah, with a game like Demeo, can't be a ton wrong. I mean, most of the time, probably it's we want more. Give us more. Can you give us more? Please give us more.
Sometimes you just want to wish you could share everything that you know about, but you can't, and you have to be oh, you'll see in a bit, or keep an eye out for the announcement. And I'm I really want to tell everyone.
But inside, you really want to tell the world. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool, and then it must be exciting right now. I mean, the world of Demeo has really blown up in the last year or so, to the point where I got a chance to go to GDC this year and sit down and play it flat for the first time ever. So Demeo is really stretching out. And then just recently, I got a chance to go to California and go to AWE, and I got a chance to play Demeo in augmented reality for the first time ever, and that was really amazing. So Demeo is just really stretching out into everything right now.
It really is. As a very old school PC player myself, I'm so happy to see it, broadening to different platforms. And also, I can get all my friends who don't have VR to play with me now. For example, my husband gets really sick playing VR. He has no VR legs. And I'm well, no, PC. No, come on. Let's do this.
That's awesome. The fact that it's all across, right? Flat to VR and AR as well. You can play AR against VR and flat people.
It's just an experience right now that they had with the Lenovo glasses, but who knows? You never know, right?
Could be coming. That's
Maybe.
You never know.
No information here, not yet anyway. But it would be amazing. I can tell you the experience that I did have there was really cool. It was basically one dungeon level. You get to battle like one of the troll bosses or the troll big baddies. It was kind of neat. It was very well done, and I think Paul had said that you guys had just put that together fairly quickly for AWE just to show what it was capable of, and it was amazing how much you guys got done in just a short period of time.
Our developers are crazy. I don't know. They are driven by passion and coffee, I think. But they're yeah, I don't know how they do it, but they are just really talented people.
Yeah, so much so that we are now just about to jump into another chapter. This is the 4th chapter now, right?
That's correct, yeah.
So when the game launched, it was just one single chapter, and I think people were like, this is an amazing game, but we like more of it. And if there was any criticism at all for Demeo, which there wasn't much, it may have been just there's not a lot of content here. But very quickly, Resolution, you guys have. I mean, I'm not even sure when exactly the game launched, but now we're in our 4th adventure already, Todd.
Yeah, we got the Black Sarcophagus. That was their launch package, right? And then you went to the Realm of the Rat King, and Roots of Evil was the latest one. And now we've got Serpent Lord. Very exciting times. Yeah, and another character, right?
Ciwiel, can you tell us a little bit about the new character? Because I'm just looking at this right here. I'm looking at this book, and the character on the front cover here looks amazing. And if you look right here, guys, there's a cat.
Yeah.
Is it Kana? Kana?
Yeah, Kana.
Nice. Looks amazing. So tell us a little bit about Oana and her Astacat. Kana. Yeah.
So Oana is a very mighty and dangerous warlock. And together with her Astacat Kana, she was very powerful. So you need to focus on, leveling up your pet and making sure that she's alive. And that way you're going to be very, very hard to beat, I think. But yeah, you need to be a bit careful. She also has like a teleport that you can use. But as with teleportation, the enemies can follow through. So you need to be a little bit careful.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously. I'm looking at some of the abilities right here. So she has a portal of NOZH. How do you say that? Do you know? No.
Yes, sorry, it's portal, not teleportation. I always mix those words up.
Yeah, no, it's the same. It's kind of the same thing. But so that's a mighty convenient portal that allows you to travel between locations. She has an Astral Strike, which looks amazing too. It's a magical, undodgeable flurry of projectiles that are sure to clear the playing field. And Master's Call, command Kana on where to go or who to attack. You will always cause a bit of damage if you place it on an enemy. That's so cool. So just a question with Kana the cat. Does the cat stay with you the whole time, or is it something that you call when you need it, or use a card to bring the cat out?
So it stays with you, and unless you ask it to go somewhere, it will try to kind of stick around and defend you when possible. But it sticks around, and unless it gets killed, so you need to be a little bit careful. Don't send it out there to bang.
That's cool. So the cat can actually die without the character dying.
Yes, that's correct.
Oh, nice. Okay, so you can actually lose the cat sometime during the dungeon.
You can, but you can respawn.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Now with the cat, does it take a turn? Like if you wanted to send it off to do something, does that count as a turn, or does it kind of have a mind of its own around its player?
It has its own turn that's kind of connected to Oana's. So once the warlock has done their turn, then the cat will do its own. But of course, like if you command it to do something, that's part of your turn as a warlock.
But it'll kind of go off and do its own thing as well if there's enemies nearby. Kind of like the archer's got a pet that you can kind of summon, right? Well, I can't remember that guy's name, the wolf.
Yes, the wolf.
Yeah.
Yeah, Varachka. Yeah, who doesn't love Varachka?
I like
the best.
Right? He's named after one of our artists' real life dogs.
No really?
Yeah.
That's super cool.
Yeah, this is the only stuff you can get in an interview like this.
Who would have known that? That's amazing.
Someone asked, they're like, why don't you just call it like wolf or dog or I don't know, Jack? No, but
That's
it's
boring.
actually named after a real one.
Yeah, right. This is way more interesting than that. So tell us a little bit. We're going to see some new enemies too in this new adventure. So which is great because with the Rat King we did get a new kind of a new boss and a few different enemies, and there was definitely some new enemies with Roots of Evil, which was nice. Now in Roots of Evil we did get another character, and then here we're getting another character too. So that's kind of cool. Just tell us a little bit about some of the new enemies.
So we're gonna see kind of enemies that really fit into the desert environment. So we have like a Ronthian Scorpion, for example, which fits the theme very well, I think. Then there are also a group of kind of reptilian mutants, sort of. Not Ninja Turtles, just but which are also really cool. And then we have some followers of Easter, and I don't want to spoil too much.
Don't spoil too much, right? Exactly. That's awesome.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, it's so varied now. So it's not like we're just getting new locations and new story. We're getting new characters. We're getting new adventures, new enemies. Any new battle cards this time around?
There will be 2 new cards that aren't like class specific, and then a bunch of new potions. And actually a potion stand that you'll be able to find somewhere.
Wow! So something that's not in between rounds, but during the match.
Correct. It's like a new point of interest.
That's amazing. I love that part. Now, so the Bard came in Roots of Evil, and that was more of a support style player. It looks to me like Oana is more of an attacking style player. Am I correct in that?
I would say, mostly. She does have some defensive magic as well, but mostly, she's really good at doing damage. As with most spellcasters and games, I wouldn't send her out to like tank big enemies. You might still want to use the Guardian for that. But
my favorite player, the Guardian. I always play the Guardian, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yes, yeah.
It's always reassuring to have a Guardian in your party.
Oh, heck yeah. I think it's great because I try not to jump around to different characters because I think it does. What's great about the game is you can really put some time into learning how to attack with each character. So like now for me, I have really sunk a lot of time into playing as the Guardian or the Warrior or the tank, however you want to call it. So I really have a good idea to know exactly what that character can do and how I should be playing to help the other characters in my party. And every character is that way, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I played a bunch of the Hunter is the one I usually go to. But you kind of realize you realize after a while you're like, oh, I'm really, really good at playing this one. But then maybe I'll move over to the Sorcerer and I'm like, oh, I probably should play him more because I need to, catch up a little bit more on that.
Yeah, my worst case scenario is I jump into a game with new people and they're like, somebody grabs the Guardian right before I do, and I'm like, oh no, where am I going from here?
Now what am I gonna do?
Yeah, because literally, I think I've played the Hunter maybe once or twice, and I've played the Wizard once or twice, and that is it. The hardest one for me is because it's so varied. Is the I'm not even sure the name of it. Is the Assassin, or what do they call that one? The Rogue or the Assassin, yeah. Because that's such a varied character, and you can do so many things with the backstab and things like that, and with the stealth ability that you really need to know that character, especially with the Bard too. I think now you really need to know that character to really get the most out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. If you miss one turn where you actually wanted to buff somebody in the party, and you forget, and you keep forgetting for a few turns, and you're like, oh no, everyone's so weak all of a sudden compared to what I thought.
Why did my tank die? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's what, again, one of the things I love about Demeo, and it's just the challenge of it, the depth of the game. It's not just a simple jump in and get out in 20 minutes. These are games you can get into for 3 hours. I mean, I don't think we've ever played a Demeo game where we get out within a couple of hours. Usually it's a 3-hour game. But the save feature that you guys put in, it was really a lifesaver.
Yeah, I mean we understand that people don't have always 3 hours or 5 hours to put into a game, so yeah, that's very helpful, especially if you have like family or kids and you kind of have limited time. So I'm very happy that we have that feature too.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Let's talk a little bit about the new adventure, Serpent Lord. Can you tell us a little bit about perhaps the Serpent Lord himself or some of the lore behind it? As of airing this interview, people will have had a chance to play it, so we won't give too much away for somebody who hasn't finished yet or beat it. But if you can give us a little background on the Serpent Lord and maybe tell us a little bit about the environment that we're going to be in this time.
Yeah, so, well, the boss of this adventure is a giant serpent, and basically it's considered the embodiment of a god, and the god is named Ister. But the question is if everything actually is what it seems like. And I'm going to leave it at that.
Nice. So something maybe a little more deeper than we've seen in the other adventures.
Potentially, yeah.
Interesting. I like it.
And then the environment, of course, is around the desert, is what the desert is called. And you are kind of placed in a city, but it's kind of covered with sand, and it's, it's not really that livable for most people, I would say. But the city is called Hysteria, and yeah, it's a dangerous place. You don't want to like go there for your holiday, probably. I wouldn't recommend that.
Yeah. I love too that there's an overarching complete story of that wraps all these together, right? All these adventures are kind of wrapped together in an overarching bigger story. Can you tell us a little bit about where that comes from and how that story has evolved with each adventure?
Yeah, I'm not so involved in it, so I don't want to like share too much about that. But we have game writers who are fully dedicated to like expanding on the world of Demeo and making sure everything ties together. I'm sure they avoid plot holes and stuff like that as well. But there is absolutely a bigger picture, and we try to share a snippet of that with every adventure. And also on the Demeo wiki page, there is also a bit more lore for those who are interested. But yeah, there is a bigger picture, and there is like a thought to everything that's happening.
Well, hear that first here, Radio Runt. That is for you, the man who absolutely loves lore in every game. He won't play any game unless it has lore in it. So there you go, my friend. Go check it out on the wiki page. Again, another thing I absolutely love about Demeo, it's not just a jump in and play board game. There's a lot going on here. There is an overarching story. There are ties between each adventure, which is great. One of the other things that I absolutely love about Demeo is the scope of some of these dungeons. As you progress into the dungeons, you get farther and farther into your third dungeon. Usually it's the third dungeon you get your boss. Same way here, third dungeon you get your boss?
Yes, that's correct. We are adding, let me just double check the numbers so I don't lie here.
Yeah, right.
Yes, they're going to be, so in total there are 8 new levels, but as usual, every play session it's only 3 that you play. But there's still a variety, and it's going to be randomized which one you get every playthrough.
Absolutely love that. There's so much you're right. Variety is a perfect word because there is something different here every time you play. You never know the outcome. Right when you think you've gotten it down with a certain adventure, like the Rat King, every time I think, okay, I figured this finally thing out, we go in there and we'll get nuked. We'll get, you get into that. Sometimes you get into that point where just like the Rat King is just spawning rats everywhere, and every time you kill a rat, it re-heals them, and it's just a bad cycle. But that's what I love about it. You just don't know. You don't know how each adventure is going to go.
And I think that's why each player plays a pivotal part in actually completing or winning the game, right? So if you don't play them all to their best ability, then you're going to pay for it.
Yeah. I mean, mistakes are expensive in Demeo. Not gonna lie.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So let's talk about, a little bit about Resolution. You guys have really pumped things up to the point where, I mean, you have a whole team now. You're just saying that are doing writing, right, for these things for Demeo. But it's amazing how big Resolution has gotten so quickly. They're one of the best about developers out there now for virtual reality. It must be exciting to be on the team and to be involved with Demeo, which is probably one of the most popular games out there right now. It's got to be really exciting for you.
It is so cool, and I feel like we're so often encouraged to experiment and come up with new solution to things. And also, like with the VR industry and all, it's a very new thing. You kind of have to create the wheel or like test things to see what works and what doesn't. So it's a very, very exciting industry to be in. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
You hear that from a lot of people. Like once they get like, there's so many people that come into virtual reality and start to work in it, and and behind the scenes, and they're like come from completely different backgrounds, and once they found their spot in virtual reality or augmented reality, they're like, I'm home, I'm where I need to be. So it's funny how it does collect people that way.
Yeah, I think it's many of us in the industry are really excited about it because we do get to try out new things, and there's no like set form yet for like how to make a VR game, or yeah, it's so experimental still, which kind of is liberating in many ways.
Yeah, for sure. So this isn't it. This at the end of this chapter, I'm looking at my book here right now, and it does say next adventure ?
Yes.
So is there a path? Like, is there a set? Like I don't even know. I've actually never looked back to see the release dates of all these. Is there a set time that you guys are trying to release this? Is it always the same, wait between each chapter, or is it just random on when you guys can get these things done?
I'm not actually sure if we had like the exact set timing. For this year, we set out to do 2 adventures. And then, of course, you can't do one in May and then one in like August. Like you need to space it out a bit so you have development time in between. Yeah, I would say we try to do as much as we can, but development takes time. We wish we could just like do like that, and we would have a new adventure instantly. But development does take time. So,
Well,
yeah.
I love the fact that these adventures are free download content. Like this doesn't cost anything extra for Demeo players to grab these expansions and play new stuff.
Yeah, and then that's something to say too, because let's ask the question: is this adventure a free downloadable adventure, or is this something we have to pay for?
No, it's free for
Yeah.
everyone, both PC and VR. Yeah,
That's awesome.
Nice.
we
So
like losing money. No, I'm kidding. Like giving things away.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, as we were talking about earlier, one of the small complaints was, when Demeo first launched, was just one adventure, but you've quickly gotten to 4 adventures now. There's so much, there's so much content here now to play, and it's all been, basically for the price of the game itself. No paid DLC as of yet. Are there plans for DLC? Is there anything you can share on that front? For paid DLC, I should say.
So basically, for now, we have like a strong roadmap of free content for the whole rest of this year, and that also includes, another adventure and PvP and stuff. And we have even more planned for 2023, but I can't really say if we're ever gonna do paid content or not. That's something that we'll have to see what happens in the future, basically.
Well, I can tell you this: I'd pay for them. Yeah. Whatever. I don't want to put thoughts in your head about going to have to go charge, but for me, it's a no-brainer. I'd pay $10 for every new adventure, no problem.
Completely worth it.
We get that a lot, which is
3 or 4 hours per campaign per time. Every time you do it, like there's hundreds of hours of gameplay here, and to give it away free is just amazing. But like Eric says, to have a paid DLC at $10 for a whole new campaign, a new boss, a new player, new cards, new potion stand, come on, piece of cake.
I guess we'll see what happens.
Oh, Todd, I think we just talked resolution into start charging for Demeo. People are going to hate us. People are going to hate us.
I can promise, if that ever happens, it won't be because of this conversation.
Okay, good.
Right?
We're not that important.
Yeah, you are.
Oh, too funny.
I wanted to touch on a couple community things that you guys do, and I think that including them in the game is such a great idea. You have the what's the Heroes Hangout? What a great update where you can go in and talk with people. Like it's just random multiplayer room where you can paint your little character guy, like painting miniatures for all you Dungeons and Dragons fans out there. It is such a cool part of the game. And I also wanted to touch on your dice competition that you had on Twitter.
Yeah.
And you've got a winner. When can we expect that dice in the game, or can you tell us?
We're looking at what update it's going to come into right now. So we don't have answer to that quite yet.
Okay.
But it will not be in the desert updates.
Okay.
So it won't be in the Curse of the Serpent Lord, unfortunately. But we hope that we can get it in pretty soon after.
That's cool that
but
you
the-
involve the community in those kind of decisions and that kind of that contest. I thought it was pretty cool when you did that.
It's something we've been thinking about for quite a long time, that like we want to do something that can also end up in the game and that everyone can enjoy, basically. So yeah, it's been pretty cool to do something that, you know, also gets to live on as a legacy part of Demeo.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, the Heroes Hangout was something that, just came fairly recently, but it really has kind of evolved into something special. Like, I've talked to people that are spending hours in there just painting the miniatures. They love it. It's such a cool idea. What a great addition to the game.
I love it too. I'm a very creative person as well, but sometimes it gets messy to like put out all your paints or, you know, crafting supplies. Kind of easy to just, you know, you put on your headset, no cleanup, and you still get to hang out with people and just, you know, chill out and do something fun and creative together.
And have a little painting party. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love
absolutely.
that like update name we had, painting party. I'm like,
Right? It's
that's my
awesome.
kind of party.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So Demeo now is it's in its fourth adventure. Things are really shaping up to make this, one of the best games that you can purchase right now on the Quest 2 on PC, whether it be flat or whether it be in virtual reality. What's next? Is there anything you can tell us? I mean, Demeo 2, anything down the road that we can look forward to? Is there any little snippet of info you could give us?
Yeah, so we did announce the PvP mode that's coming, which I can't share any details about, but I saw somebody on Discord today that asked, like, have they forgotten about PvP? I'm like, no, I can guarantee we have not forgotten about it. But then also, we have one more adventure coming this year. And
What?
Yeah.
So
one more
that'll be the third adventure this year? Or no,
It
that's
will
that
be
two.
the second, yeah.
Okay,
So it's
right.
this one, Curse of the Serpent Lord, and then there will be another one.
Well, it just seems to me like the Roots of Evil just came out. I don't know. It seems like it wasn't that long ago. Oh yeah, there you go, Todd. Perfect. Look at that.
Oh, nice. Yeah, exactly.
So that's why, because it was December. It really wasn't that long ago. December. That's why it seems like it was so close.
Yeah, it was pretty much 2022 if it's December, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But look at the roadmap. I mean, you guys always have something going on, which is fantastic. It keeps people involved and really thinking about Demeo all the time.
Excited
Yeah.
at what's coming next.
Yeah, we really believe in Demeo as a game and as, an IP. So we want to keep expanding on it. I can share just a tiny little, something about the next adventure.
Yeah, sure.
So the next adventure after Curse of the Serpent Lord, the adventurers are going to take a trip into town for the very first time.
Wow,
Outside
that's
of the dungeon.
huge. That's huge. That's amazing.
Well then.
I love that. Man, I didn't think we would get any kind of info on the next chapter, so that's amazing. Thank you. We appreciate you doing that.
Of course.
Well, that's going to be exciting. I'm really looking forward to it. Demeo is absolutely one of my favorite games. We play it all the time. We've streamed it live. We've done developer interviews where we've taken developers of other games and gone in and interviewed them live while we're playing Demeo. It's a really cool place just to talk to people. You can get in, you can play, you can still have your strategy, but you can have conversation, which I love about it. And you've done a great job with the community. The community for around Demeo is super engaging. You've done awesome.
Thank you so much. That is the absolute most heartwarming compliments ever. I work hard on it and I feel like it's paying off.
It shows, yeah, definitely.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like you said, Todd, was talking about the dice competition, which I thought was amazing. People really got excited about that. I mean, to have your own dice in the game, that's something special. And yeah, the whole game is something special, and it's something that Quest players can be super proud of, as was PC players and now flat players as well. And who knows, maybe augmented reality players sometime in the future, but we'll see on that one. Ciwiel, thank you so much. We appreciate you coming in and talking to us today, and I'm very excited to show this to the community, especially with the new snippet about the new book possibly coming out. But by the time this interview airs, people will have had a chance to play it, and I'm looking forward to seeing what everybody else has to say. So thank you again for being here. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me, and I will definitely keep lurking in the Facebook.
That's awesome that you're.
Yeah, please do, and please stop back anytime if you want to come back and talk right before the next book comes. You're welcome here at any time. You're amazing.
Anytime.
I would love to.
If you ever want to play Demeo,
yeah,
that would be fantastic.
That would be
We should do
super
that
fun.
sometime. We should live stream it to. We could restream it to Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, and live stream it. That would be amazing.
Oh, I would love that. I'm down. Just let me know.
She'd make us look bad, Todd. She'd make us look bad. She's like, guys, why would you make that move? That's so crazy.
we gotta find out what her worst character is and make her play that one.
Honestly, though, like most players are so much better at Demeo than I am. Like, yeah, I'm blown away about
There are people in our community that are amazingly good at it. Like Radio Run I was talking about earlier. He can go in skirmish mode, the Rat King, almost every time. I mean, by himself, just in the skirmish mode. So good.
I'm impressed.
Yeah.
I'm very impressed.
PvP, he's gonna kick my butt big time. I'm not looking forward to PvP. I'm gonna lose a lot.
We'll cancel it just for that reason. No.
Yes, please tell them it's canceled. People are gonna hate us, Todd. We made them charge. We're gonna tell them to charge extra and cancel PvP. Oh man, too funny. This has been a lot of fun. Yeah, right. This has been a lot of fun. Thank you so much. We're really looking forward to this chapter and the next adventure in the Demeo series. And again, thank you for being here. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a great one.
All right, bye-bye. All right, guys, back to you.